Woohoo! Welcome everyone. It's Gayon here in Southern California. Today is Tuesday, July 18th. We're in the year of 2023. So let's talk about how to read nutrition labels if you have diabetes. So one of the things that we have to do once we're dealing with diabetes is we want to definitely shy away from processed foods. That means anything in a box, anything in a can. If you didn't make it, if it's not, if you didn't make it yourself, that's considered processed foods. So once in a while, it's okay, to have something from a can or from a box, etc. So today's lesson, I'm going to talk about. So when you are buying something in a can or something in a box, the most important thing for you for you have diabetes or pre-diabetes is you got to know how to read those nutrition labels, right? So I'm gonna do the very best I can. It's very confusing, I think, personally, on how to really educate ourselves on how do we read these, the food labels. So I'm gonna give you some pointers today to help you out. So the information I'm gathering that I'll be sharing today is from the University of California, San Francisco. So this is the Diabetes Education Online. So let's get right into this. Learning to read labels. If you eat packaged foods, a convenient way to figure out how much carbohydrates is in your food is to use the nutrition facts label. The nutrition facts label is found on the outside of a container. To count carbohydrates, look at three things: the serving size, the number of serving per container, grams of total carbohydrates per serving. The total carbohydrates tells how many grams of carbohydrates are in one serving. Be careful when reading the label. There can be more than one serving in a package. So if you eat more than one serving, you will need to multiply the grams of carbohydrates accordingly. So now let's practice. So we're looking at an example of a sample food label. So let me try to zoom in so you can get a big picture here. Okay, so let's look at this nutrition label and see what pointers they're giving us. So here's a nutrition fact, right? In this example, their serving size is 3 pieces, which is 90 grams. So as the error shows here, the number in parentheses shows the weight. So the 90 grams, that's the weight. One serving weighs 90 grams when using a food scale. There are 3 servings in a whole package. So in a whole package, there's 3 servings, which is 90 grams. Now, next is referring to, let's look at the carbohydrates. So one serving, which is 3 pieces of this product, provides 30 grams of carbohydrates. So dietary fiber is part of the total carbohydrates. Fiber does not digest, so you can subtract the grams of fiber from the total carbohydrates. So what does that mean? So if it says total carbs is 30 grams, okay, subtract the fiber, which is 3 grams, and that will give you the total carbohydrates. So in this case, 30 minus 3 is going to be actually 27 grams of total carbohydrates. So remember that. Always subtract the fiber from your total carbohydrates to really get the accurate number of carbohydrates. So in this case, it's going to be 30 grams minus 3. So you actually have 27 grams of carbohydrates because you're subtracting the 3 grams of fiber. Remember that, okay? So let's look at the sugars. The grams of sugars are already included in the total carbohydrates count. The natural sugars in milk and fruit, along with added sugars, are all grouped together. So for the total carbohydrates, we have 3 grams of, we have the 3 grams of fiber, the 2 grams of sugar. Remember, to get the total carbohydrate, the accurate number is you can subtract the fiber, the dietary fiber, which is 3 grams, so you get 27. Okay, so that's included in your total carbohydrates, right? So what if you eat more or less than one serving? Let's practice with this example. Okay, the serving size listed is 3 pieces or 90 grams if you are weighing the product. The grams of total carbohydrates per serving is 30 grams. So if you eat 6 pieces, this is 2 servings. What are you getting? You're getting 60 grams of carbohydrates. Okay. So, so 1 serving is 30 grams of total carbohydrates. 2 servings is 60 grams. And remember, you're going to subtract the fiber. Fiber is 3. So That's going to be 60 minus 6 because you're doing 3 grams for fiber, and you remember you're eating 6 pieces, so you're eating two of the servings. Okay, so 60 minus 6, that's going to give you 54. So if you already ate 1 piece, then you would only get 10 grams of carbohydrates. If 3 pieces equal 30 grams of carbohydrate, then each piece must be 10 grams of carbohydrate. So this stuff is very complicated. Like this I said, I'm gonna do the best to explain this. If you to read your label, doing the best I can here. So remember, you're leaning to count carbohydrates, measure the exact servings to help train your eye to see what portion size looks like. When, for example, the serving size is 1 cup, then measure out only 1 cup. If you measure out a cup of rice, then compare that to the size of your fist. In the future, you will be able to visualize the rice in comparison to your fist. Keep doing this until you get a good idea of the weights and volume of different foods. Measuring foods at home can also make you feel more comfortable with estimating portion sizes in restaurants. So nutrition facts labels is a breakdown of the total carbohydrates from dietary fibers, sugars, and sugar alcohols. This can be confusing, and I completely agree. This is why I said do less processed foods, because it's a whole you got to take a whole course to learn how to read these nutrition facts. Okay, it's a lot of effort, especially if you're diabetes and if you're eating healthy, you monitoring what you eat, to sit there and try to dissect these food facts and make sure to calculate your carbs and sugars. It's a whole, you gotta get a master's degree in this thing here. Okay, so let's just do some quick pointers here on the nutrition food label. Subtract the fiber from the total carbohydrates we mentioned that before. On the nutrition food label, the total carbohydrates includes the sugar. Yes, it does. Okay. So some nutrition fact labels may also list sugar alcohols under total carbohydrate. Sugar alcohols may be found in products that are labeled sugar-free or no sugar added, but don't be fooled. Sugar alcohols are still a form of carbohydrates, and they still affect your blood sugar levels. Okay, so keep that in mind. Remember, when you're looking at the labels, look at the carbohydrates, because the carbohydrates included the fibers and the sugars. When counting carbohydrates, include half of the sugar from the sugar alcohol. Okay, so I'm gonna provide the link to this site here, so you can have it. Go check it out. But again, the premise of this is why we say, if you're practicing a healthy lifestyle, you want to do less processed foods, because look how much time it's going to take for you to try to figure out, to try to learn how to read these labels. So if you have diabetes, you definitely want to, read the labels on the nutrition of the box or the canned product that you're buying, or if you're buying over the counter, if you're buying salad dressing, whatever, you got to know how to read those labels. It's confusing, and like I said, you need a master's degree to figure this out. So it's a lot of extra effort. So for me to simplify things in my life, I don't process food, canned food, packaged in a box less. I consume less of that stuff. Make it at home. So, and this is why I mentioned this before, you want to, make your own breads, make your own desserts. And I had the paleo diet is what I follow. And I have some great recipes here on my YouTube channel, which I'm going to share that as well. In the description, if you're watching this on YouTube, the paleo, you can check out some of my paleo recipes. I'm actually showing you how I'm making the bread or the dessert, whatever. One of my favorite things to make is the paleo English muffin. So I have many other recipes here on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to share that link here for the paleo. You can check out my paleo playlist, so you can see some recipes there to make your own breads and your own desserts. And the paleo diet is awesome because it excludes grains, because grains do spike your blood sugar. So you got to shy away from whole wheat toast grains. It just, unfortunately, they do spike your blood sugar. And so you really have to be mindful of that. So make your own stuff at home. So that's it so today I want to do a quick video on giving you, just to get you started on what you should be looking for nutrition labels, facts. And if you are going to buy a box food or a canned food. So that's it for today. If you need to lose some weight, grab my free weight loss guide. I share 3 weight loss mistakes to avoid. I also had the paleo link here too. You can check out the paleo videos. Also, you need to add some exercise into your life. I share some great 10-minute exercise for you. You just need 10 minutes of those, every day. You're not gonna spend 30 minutes on a treadmill. 10 minutes is all you need. So I have my 10-minute link here to my 10-minute exercises. You can check that out as well. I hope you got value here. If you're watching a replay, drop a replay in the comments. Let's get started. So I want to do this quick video. I hope this helps. Have a wonderful day, and God bless. Thanks for watching.